Teaching Learning Center, Ramanujan College, and Shahid Bhagat Singh Evening College, University of Delhi, with Jammu and Kashmir Study Center as the knowledge partner. In this 2-week long faculty development program, participants from different parts of the country underwent extensive study of various aspects related to the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir those persons. This faculty development program could not have been accomplished without the support and vision we received from the principals of Ramanujan College and Shahid Bhagat Singh Evening College. It's my privilege to invite Dr. S.P. Agarwal, Principal Ramanujan College, to give his insights about the faculty development program. Sir, the virtual dais is yours.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Our guest today, again, Mr. Ashutosh Bhatnagar, and our other guests who have joined us, and Dr. Sinha, principal of the college, my team of Ramanujan College and team of Bhagat Singh Evening College. Once again, welcome to this valedictory session of the program which we started 2 weeks ago on Jammu and Kashmir. Basically, this program is, we thought of this program, probably, my colleague, Dr. Sinha thought of this program of 1 year of completion of repealing of 370 and 35A. And I believe during the course of these 2 weeks, all the aspects, I mean, that was one thing, but the other aspects of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh region has been discussed, because there are several things which in journal, what happens is that all of us read so many things in the media, but we are not knowledgeable enough to train our youngsters. So this is a special initiative by the college and by the Jammu Kashmir chapter, that they could train teachers and could equip them with knowledge from Jammu and Kashmir, whether it is geographical knowledge, whether it is their cultural, whether it is their economic knowledge, or many other things which all of us may not be aware. So the various things which have been discussed, and the teachers trained, probably they can deliver further to their students and can really work on that area of Jammu and Kashmir. Of course, we all know that the area is very, very beautiful. Lot of opportunities are available, not only in Jammu and Kashmir, but the another territory, which is Ladakh, because as I told you in the opening ceremony, I also visited Ladakh several times and Jammu and Kashmir several times. So, but now the question arises is that how to tap those opportunities, because of this special status which now has been taken away. Probably all other people, whether people from other regions, industries from other regions, the businesses of other regions, they can join hands with the local people and can flourish that area. Basically, so many things are needed to be done. The agriculture sector of that area need to be revived. The small scale industry, or what we call it, MSMEs of that area, and the larger industries which are important for that area need to be developed. But again, very important aspect is that we should not grow the region as if we have developed the other cities. We need to be sensitive to the environment, need to be sensitive to the local needs, need to be sensitive to the local geographical needs and their cultural and other needs, because unless until we develop the local part, local content, and can give jobs to the local youth, unless until that is achieved, we will not be able to develop that region. Similarly, the 2-3 things which are extremely important, which have been discussed in the last several days, and since we have completed 1 year, lot of things are coming in the media. Now, basically, two, three things are extremely important, which we have discussed earlier also, that the economy of that region, how really to flourish that economy, that is very, very important. And the basic part of that is the connectivity, communication in that area, the electrical, aspect of that area. I believe that Government of India has done several projects to reach to each and every village in that region. And similarly, the railway network is going to be increased, the road network is going to be increased. So the area needs further strengthening in order to achieve the real thing in times to come. Now, of course, 1 year is not enough. We all understand, and we need another 3-4 years to see that all the developmental activities taken by Government of India to develop that region will deliver goods to the local people. So, very, very important that communication and infrastructure. These two things are extremely important. Similarly, the educational system, the health system. These are two major areas again, which need to be looked into, that they need to be aligned with the mainstream of the other regions. People from that area should come to our area, our people should come to that area. Unless until we have top class educational institutions, top class medical institutions, that will not happen. So we need to develop those institutions in order to take care of local needs and to bring the real global needs to that area. So what I feel is, though the experts are with us, they will be able to say much more on this subject. But I believe this is a very good initiative done by the college, Bhagat Singh College, and we collaborated with them. And this is a special subject on which knowledge could be spread in this area or in other areas of the country. And similarly, that knowledge will go to our youngsters. So with this, I again urge upon to all my colleagues who are participants in this, that they must talk about this subject, talk about that reason, and also encourage the people to understand the cultural, the economic, and other heritage of that region, because that is a very rich region of India. And especially, both both Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, they are they are the hostile are our neighbors. Both China and the Pakistan are our neighbors in those areas. So we have to work in that direction also, so that we can bring peace and prosperity in that area. So with this, once again, thank you very much for inviting me, and over to you, Ankita. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insight. I feel equally honored to invite Dr. Sudhir Kumar Sinha, Principal Shahid Bhagat Singh Evening College, to give his remarks on the program. Sir, kindly take the dais.
Respected Captain Alok Bansal, Director, India Foundation, Shri Asutosh Bhatnagar, Director, Jammu Kashmir Study Circle, all experts, panelists who have contributed in the conduct of this faculty development program, Dr. S.P. Agrawal, Principal, Ramanujan College, Sri Saurabh Dubey, Convener, Dr. Amrita Kaur, Co-Convener, Shakti Singh, Organizing Secretary, Ms. Ankita, Sri, and dear panelists. I welcome you all to the valedictory session of the 2-week faculty development program organized by Shahid Bhagat Singh Evening College in collaboration with Teaching Learning Center of Ramanujan College. I am confident that all the participants would have greatly benefited from this faculty development program. Before I start, I express my special gratitude to Sri Asutosh Bhatnagar and Jammu Kashmir Study Circle who were our knowledge partner, and it is only because of their active cooperation that we have been able to organize this faculty development program and have been able to deliver what we expected to deliver. So my sincere thanks and gratitude to Jammu Kashmir Study Circle. You know, FDPs are very common. FDPs are, hundreds of FDPs are held, but we not only wanted to organize a FDP, but we wanted to organize a FDP on a contemporary topic which was relevant to our country, which would have contributed to nation building in India, and we choose this topic on Jammu and Kashmir because we thought that there are many wrong narratives circulating in the country. So we thought that there is definitely a need to see to it that those wrong narratives comes to an end. The people of India understand the real picture of Jammu and Kashmir. They know what the historical, geographical, economic, political linkages that Jammu and Kashmir has shared with the mainland for centuries and centuries. So to bring to an end to this wrong narrative, to give a right picture of the linkages and the relationship with India has been with Jammu and Kashmir, we wanted to let the participants know that Jammu and Kashmir has been an integral part of India for centuries. So with this objective, we had started this FDP, and we knew that with the panelists, with the participants coming from different parts of India, from different universities of India, it would be to train teachers on this right perspective of Jammu and Kashmir, so the knowledge they have acquired in this FDP would get diffused in each and every part of India. We expect that the knowledge they have acquired here, they would diffuse this not only to their students, but they will take an active role in diffusing this knowledge to society at large. I hope that they will communicate to people around them and tell them that what is the right narrative, and they will convey to society at large that Jammu and Kashmir has been an integral part of India. This was the main objective that we had, and through this FDP, I am confident that we have contributed to nation building of India. This FDP will help people of India to realize the true aspects of India. They will realize that it is due to global conspiracy that Jammu and Kashmir remained isolated after participation of India, and a new era has begun. Now Jammu and Kashmir would get integrated with India fully, and not only it would be a full integration of Jammu and Kashmir with India, but now an era of hope and economic development will begin in Jammu and Kashmir, and the needs and aspirations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir would be taken care of. So this faculty development program has been aimed to contribute to nation building of India, contribute to needs and fulfilling the needs and aspirations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir, contribute to socio-economic development of Jammu and Kashmir. In the end, I once again thank Mr. Asutosh Bhatnagar ji, Captain Alok Bansal, Dr. S.P. Agrawal, and my special thanks are due to all the contributors. They are all experts in their field. They have come out with extraordinary, exemplary lectures that was shared with the participants. Thank you all. Ankita, please take over.
Thank you so much, sir. Moving forward, I now invite Mr. Saurabh Durbe, convener of the Faculty Development Program, to share his views on the program. Saurabh, sir.
Thanks, Ankita. किसी भी प्रोग्राम का वैलिडिटी सेशन एक एक्साइटमेंट लेके आता है कि आपने अभी तक जो किया, आपका जो वर्क रहा है उसका असेसमेंट क्या है, और उस वैलिडिटी सेशन में आपका एक समअप क्या होना चाहिए। तो हम लोगों का जो फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम का टॉपिक था, उस टॉपिक पे मैं तो बोलने के लिए उतना सक्षम नहीं हूँ, क्योंकि आज हमारे बीच में कैप्टन आलोक बंसल जी हैं और आशुतोष जी हैं, तो वो उस सब्जेक्ट पे कहीं ज़्यादा एक मतलब अथॉरिटी हैं, उनसे ज़्यादा मतलब हम लोग तो सीखते हैं उनसे। तो मैं उस फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम की थीम के बारे में ना बोलते हुए केवल कुछ तैयारियों के बारे में, जो अपना एक ये जो यात्रा रही है, जो हम लोगों का आज यात्रा का एक अंतिम पड़ाव है, इसके बारे में मैं कुछ अपने अनुभव शेयर करना चाहता हूँ। ये शुरू में जब जब एकेडमिक अफेयर कमेटी का हम लोगों ने अपना एक काम शुरू किया था, तो सिन्हा सर का, प्रिंसिपल भगत सिंह कॉलेज का, उनका अपना एक व्यक्तिगत ये एक इच्छा थी कि एक फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम करवाया जाए। तो हम लोगों ने उन्हीं के प्रयास से, क्योंकि उन्होंने कहीं ना कहीं अपने सभी कोलीग्स को एक फ्री हैंड दिया हुआ है कि आप एक क्रिएटिव वर्क अगर करते हैं तो कॉलेज की अथॉरिटी, कॉलेज के लोग आपके साथ हैं। तो उस तरीके से हम लोगों ने अपना प्रोग्राम आगे बढ़ाना शुरू किया। तो उसी सिलसिले में आशुतोष जी से बात हुई, आशुतोष जी भाई साहब से जब बात हुई, तो ये हुआ कि क्या टॉपिक रखा जाए, कौन कौन हम लोगों के रिसोर्स पर्सन होंगे, कैसे होंगे। तो ये एक 1.5 महीने का, 2 महीने का अगर कह सकते हैं कि एक अथक प्रयास रहा है, और जिसमें जम्मू कश्मीर स्टडी सेंटर की तरफ से जो सहयोग मिला है, आज हम लोगों के प्रोग्राम का जो भी रेटिंग हो, जो भी हम लोगों के प्रोग्राम का इम्पैक्ट पड़े इन फ्यूचर, जैसे मैं देखता था, मैं कंटिन्यू डेली उसमें लॉगिन होता था, डिस्कशन फोरम में जाता था, तो ये एक बार चेक करता था कि जो अपने पार्टिसिपेंट हैं उनका क्या व्यू है, लेक्चर को लेके क्या व्यू है, अपनी एक लेक्चर के इम्पैक्ट को लेके। तो मैंने उसमें ओवरऑल देखा कि कहीं भी किसी भी तरह से किसी भी पार्टिसिपेंट के मन में कोई शंका नहीं थी। और जैसा कि इनॉग्रल सेशन में हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया था, हम लोग अपना ये सब बातें डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि मुझे लगता है कि जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट होंगे वो इस फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम के बाद उन्हें कुछ ना कुछ सीखने को जरूर मिलेगा। और मैं ऐसा खुद अनुभव करता हूँ कि बहुत कुछ तो पार्टिसिपेंट ने भी सीखा, और बहुत कुछ साथ में काम करते करते हम लोगों ने भी बहुत कुछ सीखा है। और ये एक वैश्विक महामारी के दौर में जिस तरीके से टीम मेंबर्स ने कोऑपरेट किया, टीम मेंबर्स ने जो आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्टिविज्म किया है, मैं उसके लिए निश्चित तौर पे अपनी जितने भी टीम मेंबर्स हैं उनको बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ। ये एक टीम वर्क था जिसे हर तरह से, हर जगह से सपोर्ट मिला। और इसमें मुझे लगता है कि आज इस वैलिडिटी सेशन में जितने भी अपने पार्टिसिपेंट होंगे, तो उनका अपना एक जो विजन या एक जो ऑब्जेक्टिव जिसके तौर पर उन्होंने इसे ज्वाइन किया होगा, क्योंकि एक स्पेशल सब्जेक्ट था। नॉर्मल हम लोग भी फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम देखते हैं तो उसका एक ऑब्जेक्टिव अलग होता है, ये एक स्पेशल सब्जेक्ट था। इस स्पेशल सब्जेक्ट पे शुरू में मेरा मानना ये था कि पॉलिटिकल साइंस, सोशलॉजी, हिस्ट्री, ये जो सब्जेक्ट के लोग हैं ये इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे। तो ज्यादातर मेजोरिटी भी मैंने देखी उसमें कि इसी सब्जेक्ट के लोग थे, लेकिन काफी जो है इंग्लिश लिटरेचर, हिंदी लिटरेचर, इसके अलावा और भी डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट के लोगों ने इसे ज्वाइन किया, और उसका एक बहुत बेहतरीन रिस्पॉन्स आया है। तो आगे ये है कि भविष्य में भी हम लोग कुछ इस तरीके के प्रोग्राम करवा सकें जो दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में एक नया, एक रिमार्केबल तरीके से चीज़ों को बना सके। और उसमें भगत सिंह कॉलेज, जम्मू कश्मीर स्टडी सेंटर, रामानुजम कॉलेज का जो सहयोग मिला, उसके लिए मैं एज ए कन्वेनर मैं उनका धन्यवाद करता हूँ सभी का। और बाकी के सब्जेक्ट के बारे में आज हम लोगों के जो वैलिडिटी सेशन में हम लोगों के पास एक अथॉरिटी हैं जो अभी सब्जेक्ट को रखेंगे, बताएंगे। तो मैं अब अंकिता आपको देता हूँ, आप प्रोग्राम को आगे बढ़ाइए।
Thank you, Saurabh sir. To elucidate further about the program, I would like to invite my colleague and co-convener of this faculty development program, Dr. Amrita Kaur, to take over the dais. Dr. Amrita.
Thanks, Ankita. I am here to present a summary report of the 2-week faculty development program that we have conducted in these past 15 days. Today, we have nearly come to the end of this 2-week online faculty development program. During this time of pandemic where physical interaction is not feasible, we are relying on technology and trying to make full use of it through online programs and interactions. This 2-week online faculty development program on the topic contemporary issues and challenges faced by modern Jammu and Kashmir, socio-cultural and political scenario, organized from 10th of August till 24th of August 2020 by Shahid Bhagat Singh Evening College and Ramanujan College under the Teaching Learning Center of Ramanujan College, is first of its kind that endeavors to deliberate on the history, historiography, as well as social, cultural, political, economic, strategic, territorial, constitutional, international, and human rights discourses about the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The objective of this FDP was to deeply understand the significant aspects pertaining to the development, future safeguard, and prosperity of the people and the territory of Jammu and Kashmir and the nation. We started on 10th of August with the inaugural ceremony and of the 2-week FTP, and today we are at the valedictory session on the 24th of August. I will just briefly give you a highlight of the FTP and just present some slides to you. Ankita, are the slides visible? Ankita?
Yes, they are visible.
So, okay. So, we have covered all the so the online FTP was on the platform rcmoocs.in, and we have covered all the 4 quadrants of the RC MOOCs requirement. Those are recorded lectures, text, discussion forums, and final examinations. We've covered all the 4 quadrants. We have followed a 4 quadrant approach. And then the topic that we focused was on the modern Jammu and Kashmir. I'll just give you a brief about the resource persons we had. We had Professor Jawaharlal Kaul, former professor, Campus Law Center, University of Delhi, and he delivered a lecture on socio-cultural and political dimensions in Jammu and Kashmir. Then we had Professor Kuldeep Agnihotri, Vice Chancellor, Central University of Himachal Pradesh. He spoke on the British policy towards Jammu and Kashmir. We had Sri Ashutosh Bhatnagar. We have him with us today as well, Director JKSC New Delhi. He delivered a lecture on the foundation of modern Jammu and Kashmir. Geopolitical significance of Western Himalayan region was touched upon by Professor P. Stobden, a former ambassador and a diplomat. Professor K.N. Pandita, former director of the Center of Central Asian Studies, University of Kashmir, spoke on the history, historians, and historiography of Himalayan region, ancient and medieval period. Then we had Advocate Yashraj Bundela, who's an advocate at Supreme Court, and he delivered a lecture on the integration of Indian states. Dr. Rahul Pandey, Assistant Professor, Shivaji College from Delhi University, spoke about Jammu Kashmir, a victim of international intervention in the Cold War era. Then we had Dr. Shiv Pujan Pathak, Assistant Professor, Aryabhatta College, who delivered a lecture on the history of democracy deficit in Jammu and Kashmir. Dr. Professor Dipankar Singh Gupta, Head of Department of Economics and Dean School of Social Sciences, Jammu University, delivered a lecture on bifurcation of Jammu and Kashmir, possibilities and challenges. Colonel Jaiban Singh, a retired colonel from Indian Army, he spoke on the war, proxy war, and terrorism in Jammu Kashmir. Shri Ajay Kumar Sharma, Director Academics, JKSC, New Delhi, delivered a lecture on the highlights of new domicile and delimitation policy in Jammu and Kashmir. Ms. Ayushi Ketkar, Assistant Professor from the Gautam Buddha University, delivered a lecture on introduction of Indian territories occupied by Pakistan. Dr. Rahul Mishra, Professor, University of Malaya, Kuala Lumpur, delivered a lecture on introduction of Indian territories occupied by China. So in total we had, and lastly we had Sri Virendra Kondal, who delivered a lecture on the topic internally displaced persons of Jammu and Kashmir and their human rights. In total we had around 15 experts. Then we had in total 320 registered participants, out of which 305 enrolled for the course, and we had 15 resource persons. As I just told you. In total, 6,000 quizzes and assignments were submitted to us during this 2-week online FTP, and around 1,500 queries were received through email by the participants, and we were able to respond to around 1,200 of them. We had around 4,200 plus feedback responses. The average number of hours per day spent by a participant for completing this FTP every day was 3 hours per day. And we had 10,000 plus views of the videos that we uploaded on the platform as well as at YouTube. Talking about the overall content of the program, the feedback that we got from the participants is that around 93% of the participants rated the content as very good or excellent. About the quality of the resource persons, again, we had a very good feedback where 94% of the participants gave a feedback that the quality was excellent or very good. Overall knowledge addition, when we asked in the feedback form about the knowledge addition to the participants, around 62% said we had excellent knowledge addition and 34% said we had good knowledge addition. So we take it as a good number. Lastly, speaking about the certificates, this is particularly for the participants. The certificates will be available from 28th of August, 12 p.m. onwards. You can download the certificates from the link that has been provided here. We'll also provide this link on the Telegram group. So kindly please be connected with us on the Telegram group so that we can inform you on the certificate aspect, which is the last thing that we are now having after this valedictory session. So that's it from me as the report. Ankita, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Amrita. The successful conduct of this elaborate program in such a concise time would not have been possible without our knowledge partner, Jammu and Kashmir Study Center. It's my honor to invite Sri Ashutosh Bhatnagar, eminent journalist and director, Jammu and Kashmir Study Center, New Delhi, who has been a constant support to this entire program, to kindly preside over the event. Ashutosh sir, over to you.
Thank you, Amrita. I am here. Thank you, Amrita. What further?
Sir, please go ahead, sir.
Sir, we can hear you.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
Sir.
धन्यवाद. अभी डॉक्टर अमृता ने जैसा हमारे सामने पूरा प्रेजेंटेशन किया है, सच में बहुत एक्साइटेड हैं इसको देखकर. बहुत आनंद आया कि इतने सारे लोगों ने अच्छा फीडबैक दिया और हमारी जो मेहनत थी मिलजुल कर वो बहुत कामयाब हुई. दोनों कॉलेजों की, दोनों प्रिंसिपल सर और हमारी टीम, इसके लिए एक अच्छी बात है. उनको आगे करने के लिए इससे ताकत मिलेगी, ये तो ही. और आज का अपनी बातें मैं बाद में जोड़ूंगा ही. हमारे दोनों प्रिंसिपल सर ने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से इनका उत्साहवर्धन भी किया और आगे हम सब जुड़े रहेंगे और कुछ मिलजुल कर करेंगे, ऐसा भी विश्वास भी दिलाया है. मैं उन सबका धन्यवाद करता हूं. हमारे साथ श्री आलोक बंसल जी हैं. आलोक बंसल जी का परिचय वैसे कराया है. आलोक बंसल जी लंबे समय इंडियन नेवी में ऑफिसर के रूप में रहे. कई ऑपरेशंस उन्होंने बड़े लिए खासतौर से हम जानते हैं श्रीलंका में जो भारत ने एक ऑपरेशन किया था वहाँ कर विद्रोह के बाद, उसको अपने एक उसमें महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका थी, उसको लीड किया और नेवी की ओर से। और बाद में भी लगातार जो डिफेंस रिसर्च के इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं उसके साथ आलोक जी पिछले 15 वर्षों से लगातार जुड़े हुए हैं। वो देश के IDSA में रहे और देश के तमाम ऐसे संस्थान जिसमें डिफेंस रिसर्च होती है उसके साथ वो लगातार जुड़े रहे हैं।
बहुत जबरदस्त रहा।
चैनल्स के साथ हम हर दिन उनको देखते हैं एक्सपर्ट के नाते। और इंडिया फाउंडेशन करके एक आज NGO चलता है, रिसर्च सेंटर है, थिंक टैंक है, जिसकी बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है, उसके डायरेक्टर के नाते भी वो सब करते हैं। जम्मू कश्मीर स्टडी सेंटर में भी उनका बड़ा योगदान शुरुआती दौर में ही रहा जब हम सब इसको एक्सप्लोर कर रहे थे। और खासतौर से एक स्कॉलर के नाते उनकी देश में बड़ी भूमिका है, बड़ा स्थान है, डिफेंस एक्सपर्ट के नाते, स्कॉलर के नाते। और उनके साथ साथ मिलकर ही हमने ये जाना कि राजनीति से परे हटकर एकेडमिकली इस समस्या को ज़्यादा बेहतर तरीके से समाधान की तरफ ले जाया जा सकता है। और उसी दिशा में चलने से निश्चित रूप से आज जो कुछ परिवर्तन देखा है उसमें वो हमने किया ऐसा नहीं कहते, लेकिन जरूर एकेडमिक पार्ट जो उसका है उसमें हम कुछ ना कुछ सहयोग कर पाए हैं, ऐसा मुझे लगता है। क्योंकि इस पर शुरुआती कई डिकेड्स एकेडमिक्स की जगह राजनीतिक बहस और नारेबाजी ज़्यादा चली, जिससे समस्या उलझती चली गई।
ऐसा है,
मेरा विश्वास है कि हम इसको एक चरण आज पूरा हुआ है, लेकिन अकादमिक जगत में जिस प्रकार का ये फीडबैक आया है आज, उससे मुझे लगता है कि हम सबका विश्वास बढ़ा है और ये हमें पता लगा है कि हम सही दिशा में जा रहे हैं। अभी तक हम लोग शायद कम संख्या में थे, लेकिन आज के इस FDP के पूरा होने के बाद और 320 लोग हमारे साथ, 300 से अधिक लोग ऐसे हमारे साथ जुड़ गए हैं, जो मुझे लगता है कि अकादमिक क्षेत्र में केवल तथ्यों को और सत्य को स्थापित करने के लिए बात करेंगे। मुझे नहीं लगता कि ये राजनीतिक मामला है। अकादमिक जगत के तौर पर हमने कुछ तथ्य आपके सामने रखे हैं, साझा किए हैं। निश्चित रूप से आप इस सबको जांचेंगे, क्रॉस चेक करेंगे और सही पाएंगे तो इसको अपने विद्यार्थियों तक पहुंचाने का, और जैसा अग्रवाल साहब ने कहा कि बाकी भी जनता तक भी पहुंचाने का, समाज तक भी पहुंचाने का एक हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी है, उसको करेंगे तो ये बहुत अच्छा होगा। मैं कैप्टन आलोक बंसल को आमंत्रित करता हूँ कि उनके सामने विषय रखा गया है आज तक जो हुआ, लेकिन उसमें भी उन्हें जो लगता हो हम सबके साथ साझा करें, ताकि आज इस अपने आज दूर हो रहे हैं 15 दिन की यात्रा के साथ अलग होने के इस अवसर पर हम कुछ अपने साथ लेकर जाएं लंबे यात्रा के लिए। आगे यात्रा का एक पड़ाव आज पूरा हुआ है, समाप्त नहीं है। एक अकादमिक यात्रा का दूसरा दौर शुरू होगा, उसके लिए जो हमें रास्ते के लिए सामग्री चाहिए वो कैप्टन आलोक बंसल हमें देंगे। तो मुझे लगता है कि हमारी यात्रा और अधिक अच्छी, सुखद और ज्ञानवर्धक होगी। डॉक्टर कैप्टन आलोक बंसल जी।
धन्यवाद आशुतोष जी। मेरा ये सौभाग्य है कि मुझे आज इस महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम में आपने बुलाया लोगों को संबोधित करने के लिए। मुझे अमृता जी ने बोला कि बाइलिंगुअल भाषण दिया जाए, पर मैं चैट बॉक्स में देख रहा था और फिर मुझे लगा कि I think it would be better if I speak in English because there are a lot of requests that better in English. So I said I would primarily speak in English, maybe some additions in Hindi. So before we start, I'd like to thank Dr. Sinha, Dr. Agarwal, Ashutosh ji for this wonderful faculty development program which you have actually initiated on the contemporary issues and challenges faced by modern Jammu and Kashmir, socio-cultural and political scenario. Well, Jammu Kashmir has undergone cataclysmic changes since 5th August 2019, when most of the provisions of 370 were removed and consequently Article 35A become infructuous. And since then, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, I would not be talking on Ladakh primarily because I think the faculty development program is primarily focused on Jammu and Kashmir. But one of the biggest advantage of changes that were brought about on 5th August 2019 is that it has broken the shackles which had kept these region tied to a particular mindset, to a particular era when development could not take place. Primarily, Ladakh has been removed from the bondage of Jammu and Kashmir, and Ladakh has its complete freedom to gallop forward. It's no longer a troubled state. It is no longer a state which is afflicted by insurgency or any internal disturbances. And so a huge landmass, which was tied to a smaller landmass and was kept hostage to the history, has been freed. But that being Ladakh's case, I would now like to come on Jammu and Kashmir. And what has happened is that from 5th August 2019, a phenomenal change has been brought out. Now, there are two types of changes. One are emotional and psychological changes, because it has led to psychological integration of Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of India. And then there are, of course, constitutional changes. There are actually physical changes. Now, we need to understand what has happened. Today, all the laws that were applicable in rest of India have become applicable to Jammu and Kashmir, which was not the case earlier. There were so many laws which were different. RTI in Jammu and Kashmir was different. OBC reservations were virtually non-existent. So there were a lot of differences. Now, all those differences have been done away. Now it's one country, one constitution, one set of laws which are applicable to all over the countries. And there were, of course, certain laws which were existing in Jammu and Kashmir, which was inherently unjustified. Of course, I'm sure the people who have spoken to you would have enlightened me. I unfortunately did not have the benefit of listening to all of them, so I don't know. But we would remember that Jammu Kashmir earlier had a situation where you had a section of society, certain people of the Valmiki community who were taken from Punjab to Jammu and Kashmir, who could only be employed as Safai Karmcharis or for sanitation work. Now, in 21st century, having a population, having a community which could only be deployed as sanitation workers, I think there can be nothing grave injustice than this. Then you had Gorkhas who were actually employed in Maharaja's army, who were brought there, but they could only be employed as watchmen. Can we have this? And even more significantly, the laws of Jammu and Kashmir state discriminated against 50% of its population, namely the women. The property and inheritance laws of Jammu and Kashmir discriminated against women. Any woman who had married outside the state, her children were not entitled to the property. Now, all these discriminatory laws have been done away with. Even more significantly, what we need to understand was that Jammu and Kashmir had become the property of a certain powerful families. And as a result, the political space in Jammu and Kashmir was dominated by Abdullahs, by Muftis, just a few families. You would find the leaders after leaders descending from the same family, because there was no way that a new political leadership could emerge, because the grassroots level democracy had been quashed completely. The Panchayati Raj institutions could not function properly because they were denied funds, they were denied resources. Now, what has happened is that after this transformation, now you can see that Panchayati Raj institutions, the municipalities, urban bodies, district councils, all have started functioning, and they have been provided adequate resources to deliver services to the populace at the grassroots level. And consequently, what we are seeing is that now you have seen a new crop of leadership is emerging. Now, this was actually an attempt by the established leaders to prevent new crop of leadership emerging. And now you will see large number of new leaders are emerging, both in Kashmir Valley as well as in Jammu region. There is, of course, huge development taking place. There has also been enormous economic development. As you know, Jammu and Kashmir is a resource-rich region. It's a region which has an hydropower potential of over 20,000 megawatts, of which only 3,500 megawatts have been harnessed in 7 decades. So we need to develop it. It's a huge, enormous, and in fact, you have seen what hydropower can do to a region. Bhutan is a glowing example. Bhutan's only export is of hydropower. And just by exporting hydropower, Bhutan's economy today is the second richest economy in South Asia. The per capita income is second highest in South Asia. So Jammu and Kashmir had that enormous capacity. But for various reasons, this region was not allowed to develop. And now attempts are being done. You know, 1000 megawatt Pakul Dul Dam and 625 megawatt Kiru project have started. We had already done earlier Bagalihar 2, Bagalihar 3. Large number of hydropower plants are being triggered. The key now is integration. Now for integration, new roads are being established. You know, there are new tunnels being made so that Jammu and Kashmir, especially the Kashmir Valley, is connected to the rest of the country all through the year. Earlier, it was that the valley used to be cut off from rest of India for a number of months. Now that has been done away with. Similarly, rail connectivity. I have always believed that railways are lifeline of this country. They actually physically connect people and they also emotionally connect people. Now, railways have been functioning in Kashmir Valley for some time. But this railway in Kashmir Valley was not connected to the railway network of the rest of India. So the Katra-Kazigund railway line, I think, is expected to be linked in 2 years. And I think hopefully by 15th August 2022, we'll all be in a position to travel from Delhi to Srinagar by train. So that will be a big achievement. The Union Territory has also achieved 100% electrification of its houses. All the villages have been connected to the national grid. And this piped water is now, they're attempting to supply it to various places. The various transportation bottleneck has been removed. Tourism is being propped up. And of course, IIT, IIM, AIMS, they're all being revived. As you know, there is an IIT coming up in Jammu. There's an AIMS which is coming up at Srinagar. The land which was not available has been provided to them. And all these developments are taking place at this point of time. So this is what has happened. Now what next? The fact is that this is not enough. What we have done is a big thing, but we have to move forward. Now what we have to move forward? Now one of the things that is that the economic development has to take place. The government is investing a huge lot. Government is doing a lot of things. A lot of new institutions are coming. A lot of new institutions have been created. But the real fillip will take place when the private sector comes forward and starts investing in this particular region. And for that, we need to establish special economic zones. And I think government is working out on this. We would have some special economic zones which will come up and which probably will attract private sector, because it's only when private sector starts investing in this particular region, you will find a significant transformation. And that I think is probably will slowly take place, and that is one. I would like to clarify here that whatever I am stating is my own personal views. I have no connection with the government of India, and it's been almost 6 years since I retired from the Indian Navy. So these are my personal views. So what is to be done the next? To my mind, the next lot and the next focus, as far as we are concerned, has to be on two aspects. We have, because for too long we have said 370, 35A, all that has gone. All that is now history. Although yesterday some political parties said, oh, if we come back to power, we will revive this. I can assure you that no political party, even if they say so today, will be in a position to revive these archaic institutions if they come to power. There will be rebellion in their ranks, and they are already seeing it. So no political party, whoever comes to power, will ever, these institutions, these laws, these provisions have become history. So now what next? Now next is, just by removing laws, the integration does not get completed. So the first aspect is on integration. You are all faculties. I think you need to teach your students how Jammu and Kashmir was an integral part of India. What is the cultural connect? What is the historical connect? How Maurya Empire actually went beyond Gilgit. How Gilgit's identity is still the statue, rock carving of Lord Buddha outside the city of Gilgit. So that part has to be brought out, because Pakistan has tried to create a narrative which says that Jammu and Kashmir was never a part of India, which there can be nothing more blatant than this. Jammu and Kashmir has always been a part of India. You can go back to Mauryas, you can go back even further back. It is a different issue that when the central authority was weak, Everybody broke free. That happened in the rest of India also. Whenever the central authority was weak, the states broke away. So that has to be taught to the people, that Kanishka and Huvishka's empire was here. The Emperor Lalitaditya of Kashmir ruled all the way up to Malwa and up to north, up to Kyrgyzstan and beyond. So that history has to come up. That is what is very, very important, because people need to know that Jammu and Kashmir an integral part. I think all the faculties, all those who are there, you must consider whether you could take your students for excursions to different parts of Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory. There are different areas, and don't go only to tourist places, because unfortunately what happens, most of the tourists who go to Jammu and Kashmir go to only Srinagar, Gulmarg, Pahalgam. That is not enough. Please go to other parts of Jammu and Kashmir. Go to Kishtwar. See, it is more beautiful than Kashmir Valley. Go to Doda. Go to Punch. Go and see the shrine of Buddha Amarnath. Go and see the Dargah there. Go and see the Gurudwara there. Go along Rajouri. Go to Pir Bhadreshwar. Go into the interiors of Kashmir Valley. Go to Gurez. It's better than Switzerland. I can tell you, if you go to Gurez, you go to Lolab Valley, you go to different parts. Don't go on to the beaten track. If you have to take the students on an educational excursion, take them to different parts of Jammu and Kashmir. That is how integration comes. When people go visit there, the people there start getting their livelihood by interacting with people from other parts of India. That's where the greater integration will come about. So that is, I think, where a faculty development program has a major role to play. I have always been advocating, and this is of course my strong personal view, that in 21st century we cannot have an archaic practice of a capital of a union territory living 6 months in Jammu and 6 months in Kashmir. Hundreds of crores being spent every year in transferring capital of a province or a union territory from one city to another. This is an archaic arrangement. It used to be there in almost every Indian state under the British, because the Britishers would migrate to higher reaches during the summers. But over a period of time, every single Indian state has done away with it. But this region still continues with it. I think we need to have a new capital for Jammu and Kashmir, so that aspirations of both the people, Jammu and Srinagar, are taken into account. We have a Canberra model. You saw in Australia what happened. 2 cities, Sydney and Melbourne, contested to become the capital. And an equidistant place, Canberra, was selected to create a capital. Can't we do a Canberra model in Jammu and Kashmir? I think construction is the first thing that can be started in Jammu and Kashmir. And if you create new urban conglomerates, construction can take a fillip. Jammu and Kashmir today needs at least 3 or 4 new urban conglomerates. One is, of course, a new capital. Another urban conglomerate on Mughal Road, which is going to connect Rajouri to Kashmir Valley. We need to have a township somewhere in between. Similarly, other places, we can have at least 3 or 4 big cities, new cities, which need to emerge. That will actually provide economic activity a fillip, because construction is the easiest to start, and that provides employment to people cutting across socio-economic strata, educational levels, and all. Similar is the case with, of course, tourism, which is, of course, in any case going on. The next major factor, I think, which we need to focus on, and which has been my attempt to do, is that now we have removed all the archaic laws. Now what next? The next is those territories, and here I would not restrict myself to Jammu and Kashmir, because those territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, which are under the occupation of Pakistan and China. What we need to do about it? We need to, our next objective, our next aim should be to get back those occupied territories. And as one senior leader very rightly said, that you do not lose a territory just because some other country has occupied it. You only lose it when you lose it from your mental space. As long as you remember that this is our territory, you will regain it someday. May not be today, it may not be a few years now, it will be. But you have to keep it in your mental space. आपको अपने मानस पटल पे ये रखना पड़ेगा कि हमारी ये जगह है, हमें इनको वापस लेना है. This is very important. Please learn from Jews what they would say. For centuries they were away, but they would say next year in Jerusalem. That next year in Jerusalem kept that thought in their minds that yes, we will go back to Jerusalem. So we also need to start next year in Gilgit, next year in Skardu. We have to keep thinking in those terms. Then only you will get these territories back. Occupation is not the problem. Occupation will be undone someday, but it has to remain in your memory. It has to remain in your management. Half the people did not know what are the territories under Pakistan occupied. A lot of people did not know what is Gilgit-Baltistan, what is Mirpur, what is Muzaffarabad. The shrine of Sharda, such an important fact. Adi Shankaracharya was accepted as Jagat Guru only when he was ordained such at Sharda Peeth. You talk about the accounts which Huensang has written, which Al-Baruni has written. They have all described Sharda as one of the greatest centers of learning and pilgrimage in this part of the world. Are we aware of it? We have started Kartarpur corridor. Till we regain occupation of these territories, do we need to have a Sharda corridor? It's hardly a few kilometers from line of control. Can we have a Sharda corridor where people can go and visit Sharda? People in Gilgit-Baltistan are unhappy with Pakistan's occupation. So is the case now in Mirpur, Muzaffarabad. But how much do we know about these areas? What are the districts? What are the languages spoken? What are the ethnicities there? Do we know that every mosque in Baltistan has a swastika? Do we know that the Baltistan Student Federation flag has a swastika on its flag? Every cattle has a swastika on its neck when they take it out. They call it young drum. But this is a sign of prosperity. This is ancient wisdom which they have written. The languages of this particular region are getting extinguished because Pakistan does not want people to learn these languages. Obviously, Urdu is making ingress. But do we know these languages? We ought to know these languages because this is our region. I think Jammu and Kashmir Study Center has done a phenomenal job. In fact, as I said, 5th August 2019 happened because of the persistent efforts of Jammu Kashmir Study Center, which took a lot of efforts and number of years of efforts, whereby the policy makers were educated. Now they are also going and making a Shina dictionary. The first language they have breached, Shina, which is the most largely spoken language in Gilgit-Baltistan. But we have many more languages. We have language isolates like Brushushki, we have Khowar, we have Wakhi. We have different languages which are spoken by these people. People are unhappy. Are we trying to do something? There was a demand from people of this region who wanted that there should be reservation for them in educational institutions in India. Can we do that? You are all there for faculty development. I don't know if your institutions can provide admissions to students from Pakistan occupied Kashmir, the so-called, what they call it, Pakistan occupied Jammu Kashmir, Pakistan occupied territory of Ladakh. Because when we are talking of occupied territories, I would not hesitate in talking about Ladakh. So we need to understand the importance. You will find that our textbooks very often say that the highest mountain peak in India is Kanchenjunga. The fact of the matter is K2 Godwin Austen is higher than Kanchenjunga and it is located in our territory. Have we relinquished it? No, this is part of our map. And that is what I said. A country loses its territory only when you lose it from your mental space. The highest mountain peak on Indian territory is K2 Godwin Austen, which is the second highest peak in the world after Mount Everest. Kanchenjunga is number 3. But you will find, regrettably, in many of our textbooks, you find that the highest mountain peak is Kanchenjunga. So this is an aberration which we need to understand. And this can only go when we know. Do we know the history of this place? We don't know. There are a lot of myths which have been propagated. This happened, that happened. We don't know. This area was an integral part of our territory. Now, for Pakistan now has been trying to say to the world that this area is not part of Jammu and Kashmir, which is not true. As I said, Emperor Ashoka, it is Mauryan period that you had the Buddha statue which is outside Gilgit, which is actually the identity. The Gilgit manuscripts contained the oldest Buddhist manuscripts available. They were on Bhojpatras. Because of the extreme cold climate of Hunza, they actually survived. So, do we know this particular region? Because we ought to know. Even if it is under somebody else's occupation, we ought to know. We need to get ourselves educated. We will get the territory back when the right time comes. But it should never leave our mental space. And this is the state of Pakistan occupied territories, which people have now started knowing a bit. What is the state of China? Even on Pakistan occupied territory, people did not know. You see, Mangala Dam was built on our territory. Now that dam provides irrigation water to Pakistan. It inundates the territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Mirpur city went underwater. We did not protest adequately. Now they're trying to build Bhasha Dam. Now we need to object to it. And under our objection, World Bank has now refused to. Please understand, it is Gilgit-Baltistan which is most important. It connects China to Pakistan. It has the highest peaks in the world. It provides almost bulk of the fresh water that comes to Pakistan, traverses to this region. The glacial melt from this particular region provided. It has huge gold deposits. It has huge mineral deposits. And before 96, 80% of the tourists coming to Pakistan would come to Gilgit-Baltistan. Now, this is as far as Pakistan occupied territories are concerned. What about China occupied territories? We hardly know anything about it. Of course, one part is that these are primarily uninhabited regions. But even if uninhabited, we ought to know our part. Do we know that Maharaja Kashmir had a fort at Shahdullah? There used to be huge trade which used to go through this. Leh was the highest crossroad of the world. There were trade worth lakhs and lakhs of rupees in 19th century. Please remember, in 19th century, the Leh town used to have trade worth lakhs of rupees. There were 6 major trade routes going from Leh. 2 going to Central Asia, one via Zaidullah, Karakoram Pass, another going via Nubra Valley to Gilgit-Baltistan, and then again joining up on top, Yarchang. The 2 tracks used to go to Lhasa, one via Aksai Chin and another via Damchok. There was one track going to Manali to Punjab and going to Iran. There was another track which was going to Srinagar and from Srinagar onwards to what is Pakistan today and from there to Afghanistan. So there were 6 major tracks, but from highest crossroad of the world, we have converted Leh into an isolated corner of India. This has been the problem of occupation. See, by occupying these territories, have removed your access to the Eurasian heartland. You always had an access to Eurasian heartland. There is a Mackinder's theory of heartland, which says whoever controls the Eurasian heartland would control the world. We have not been able to get that access because of this occupation. Traditionally, historically, our people would go there. And Leh was the place where goods from rest of India would come. They would go follow Silk Route, various strands of Silk Route, go to Eurasia, go from there even to Europe and all those places. That has stopped. So do we know about it? How much do we know? That we had an enclave inside Tibet. Bhutan also had enclaves inside Tibet, which were with us for 600 years. I'm not talking about some 50 or 60 years, which were with us for 600 years. Even after independence, our officials went inside Tibet to our enclave in Minsar, which was primarily there to maintain Kailash and Mansarovar. The pilgrims who would go provide facilities to them. And this has been, we have recorded treaties which says from 1642 onwards, this particular part was part of Ladakh and then subsequently part of Jammu and Kashmir. After independence, 1950, an official from Jammu and Kashmir government goes there and visits there. And he has given his reports. We have our tax collection reports of this particular region. We don't know. Bhutan always keeps talking about it. Bhutan always says that our enclaves should be returned. Bhutan, whenever it talks to China, says, please provide our enclaves to us. We have unfortunately not been talking about our enclaves at least for last 5 or 6 decades. So unless, of course, we know what is our territory, we cannot get it back. So we need to know about it. What are the rivers there? What is Karkash River? What is Shaksgam River? What is Yarkand River? Where are they originating? What is Shaksgam Valley, which has been ceded by Pakistan to China? What have we done about it? 63. There were other territories which we don't claim, but which were even beyond it. If you go into the old maps of India, you will see Raskam Valley was also part of Jammu and Kashmir. There was Takdumbash Pamir, which used to touch the Soviet Union, which was also part of Jammu and Kashmir. So these are areas. Have we tried to educate ourselves? What are the areas? What are the peaks? What are the... And there are very clear indications that these were our territories. There is a Fort Khornak, north of Pangong So, east of it, which was built by Maharaja. Maharaja used to have its people there. Maharaja used to collect taxes for people who were coming from Karakoram Pass. So all these things are there. And I think we need to start our tourism into these places. In 62, our soldiers, our martyrs sacrificed their lives. The Battle of Rezangla is one of the most gallant battles fought by any army in the world. It's actually in the annals of history where people fought to the last man, last bullet. But our tourists do not go there. I think we need to encourage tourism. People now go to Ladakh in a very big number, but they again go to Leh. Fortunately, now they started going to Nubra Valley. Now some of them have started going to Pangong So, courtesy Bollywood. But we need to also take them to Daulat Beg Oldie. We need to take them to Rezangla. We need to take them to Demchok. That is what is required, because then it is the real integration. So this is what, to my mind, is the way ahead. You as faculty development, faculty members have to educate your students, because when the youth understands what is Jammu and Kashmir, then the families understand. When a child from a family goes and tells them, yes, this is Jammu and Kashmir, this was historically ours, this is our historic connection with Jammu and Kashmir. Cultural connects, you have been told about it. The Shankaracharya, we have a Shankaracharya hill in Srinagar. How closely Adi Shankaracharya was linked with this particular part. The linguistic connects, the cultural connect, the religious connects, they're all there. Amarnath Shrine, the different shrines. But Amarnath Shrine is not the only shrine. There are different other shrines. There are so many shrines. Buddha Amarnath in Punj. How many of you have been there? We need to start traveling and going to these places. And this is what is important. I think you are all faculty members. You could start advising your students to start researching certain aspects of this. What is the economic potential of Jammu and Kashmir? What are the rare herbs? Those who are botanists could start looking at botanical research. Those who are geologists could do a geological research. Those who are economists could actually work into what are the economic potential, what are the new things. Those who are urban planning experts can probably say what are the urban hubs that can come up in Jammu and Kashmir. So you need to start working on those lines. And of course, as I said, one of the key factors is that we need to read and educate ourselves. Jammu and Kashmir Study Center has come up with large number of publications on this, which we need to study. It is the result of many of these publications that these 370 and 35A have been abrogated. Now, of course, as I said, our focus is now on integration and the occupied territories. In January this year, we came out with a book on occupied territories of Bharat, which gives you details with what is the Pakistani territories, what is the Chinese territories. I plan to come out with another book, a bigger book, because this book had to be brought out immediately after this abrogation took place and we had limited time. But it's a fairly good book. It gives you all the occupied territories of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir, which are under occupation of Pakistan and China, and what is their historical connection and all those things. Similarly, as I said, now we need to start having more and more movement into Kashmir, get people from Kashmir. Probably your educational institutions can give admissions to these students. You can have some quotas for these union territories so that people come. And now that higher institutions of learning are coming up, AIMS, IIT, etc., you will see more people going from rest of India to these areas and staying there. Because just going as tourists for 2-3 days just to Srinagar, Gulmarg, Pahalgam is not good enough. Once you go and stay there, spend at least 15 days, 20 days, 30 days, you would learn that area. You would realize how beautiful that area is, what enormous capacity are there in this particular area. And people are still tied to their ancient cultural traits. The languages need to be taught. Sharda script is being revived. I think we need to encourage people to learn Kashmiri language in Sharda script. Now that is important because Kashmiri language is actually slowly dwindling. We need to encourage them. But not only that, as I said, we must encourage people to learn those languages also which are spoken across the border. I think our radio stations on the bordering regions should start broadcasting programs in these languages which are deliberately being obliterated by Pakistan in the territories which are under its occupation, because it wants to eliminate their cultural and linguistic identity so as to engulf that area into their own territory. And I think we need to counter. In the end, I would like to thank, I think, these two colleges, Shahid Bhagat Singh College as well as Ramanujam College, for coming out with this wonderful, fantastic proposition of having a faculty development program on this particular aspect of Jammu and Kashmir. And of course, Ashutosh ji, who I have known for now almost a decade, who has been the backbone, or should I say the mainstay behind Jammu Kashmir Study Center, which has brought about this cataclysmic change in this particular country. The Jammu Kashmir's status being changed owes a lot to Jammu Kashmir Study Center. It's untiring efforts that actually resulted and culminated in what happened on 5th August 2019. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to address you. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप सबका. मैं आशा करता हूं कि आप लोग जब यहां से जाएंगे और अपने अपने संस्थानों में जाएंगे, तो जो आपने यहां से शिक्षा ग्रहण की है उसको आप अपने विद्यार्थियों को देंगे और उनको प्रोत्साहित करेंगे कि वो जम्मू कश्मीर में जाकर इस चीज को आगे ले जाएं, इस इंटीग्रेशन के जो प्रोसेस है इसको और आगे ले जाएं. और मेरी आप सबसे ये विनती है कि जहां तक हो सके, जहां तक आपके जो रिसोर्सेज हैं वो परमिट करें, आप सब जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए एक्सकर्शंस प्लान करिए अपने अपने डिपार्टमेंट से. और चाहे कोई भी डिपार्टमेंट हो, उसका रूल हो सकता है, जैसे मैंने कहा, बॉटनिस्ट हो सकते हैं, जियोलॉजिस्ट हो सकते हैं, इकोनॉमिस्ट हो सकते हैं, कॉमर्स वाले हो सकते हैं, हिस्ट्री वाले तो हो ही सकते हैं, पॉलिटिकल साइंस वाले हो सकते हैं. आप जिस भी विभाग के हो आप वहां जा सकते हैं. आप भाषा विभाग के हो तो भी आप वहां जा सकते हैं. भाषाएं वहां बहुत सारी हैं, भाषाई विविधता बहुत सारी है, तो आप बहुत सारी चीजें देख सकते हैं. उसकी बस मैं सिर्फ इतना आपको कह के अपनी वाणी को विराम देना चाहूंगा. धन्यवाद.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आलोक जी. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. अभी
आशुतोष जी, मैं 2 मिनट बोलना चाहूंगा अगर आप.
जरूर डॉक्टर साहब, जरूर डॉक्टर साहब. जी जी.
थैंक यू आलोक बंसल जी, आपने बड़े पैशन से इतनी अच्छी बातें रखी. मैं समझता हूं कि मैंने ही बहुत सारी बातें सीखी हैं जो वक्तत्व आपने रखा, और इतने पैशन से जम्मू कश्मीर के हर एस्पेक्ट को कवर किया, बहुत सारी नई बातें हमें बताईं. और मैं आपको एश्योर करता हूं कि हम इस एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन में, और भगत सिंह कॉलेज भी ज़रूर इसमें पार्टिसिपेंट है, और हम लोग ज़रूर इसको और एनकरेज करेंगे और अपने बच्चों को एनकरेज करेंगे कि वो एक्सकर्शन के लिए जम्मू कश्मीर, लद्दाख, क्योंकि मैं बहुत पैशनेट हूँ खुद भी घूमने का और नई नई जगह जाने का. तो आपने जिस तरीके से इस को रखा है, मैं समझता हूँ कि ये बहुत आगे नॉलेज को ले जाएगा. इसके अलावा हम ये भी चाहते हैं कि जम्मू एंड कश्मीर जो चैप्टर है वो और थोड़ा एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन से अलाइन करे और बच्चों को जम्मू कश्मीर के बारे में और इंफॉर्मेशन, बुक्स और जो भी नॉलेज सोर्स है वो प्रोवाइड करने की कोशिश करे, ताकि बच्चे एजुकेट हों. क्योंकि अभी हमारी जो नॉलेज है वो आधी अधूरी है, और हम लोग जो प्रेस में पढ़ते हैं वो कहीं से कुछ पढ़ लिया, कहीं से कुछ पढ़ लिया, वो सब रिलेट नहीं कर पाते हैं. आप लोगों के पास फुल नॉलेज है, आप रिसर्च है, हिस्टोरिकल पर्सपेक्टिव है वहाँ के, चाहे वो एजुकेशन है, इकोनॉमी है, रोड्स हैं, एवरीथिंग. आई थिंक आलोक जी ने तो कमाल का अपना रखा कि कितनी सारी चीज़ों पर हम वहाँ पर सोच सकते हैं और बातचीत कर सकते हैं। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स को इसका बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ होगा, और वो ध्यान रखें कि जब वो बच्चों को पढ़ाएं तो इन सब एस्पेक्ट्स को पढ़ करके और अच्छे से पढ़ें, क्योंकि एक अकेले एफडीपी से, 2 वीक के एफडीपी से हम आपको एजुकेट नहीं कर सकते हैं। आपको और पढ़ना होगा और तब बच्चों के साथ शेयर करना होगा। तो इसके साथ आलोक जी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आलोक जी, मुझे लगता है कि हमें पहले आप लोगों को सुनना चाहिए था बिफोर हम बोलते, और रिपोर्ट भी पहले होनी चाहिए थी कि मैं और प्रिंसिपल सिन्हा साहब बोलते। तो ये, लेकिन ये भी बहुत अच्छा है कि हमने आज ये आप आए और हमें आपका वक्तव्य सुनने को मिला, और ये बहुत सारी बातें सीखी, और हमारे जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं उन्होंने भी जरूर सीखी होंगी। ओवर टू आशुतोष जी, धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद अग्रवाल साहब। वास्तव में मुझे जो कुछ कहना था वो सब आपने कह दिया है, और अच्छा हुआ आपकी ओर से ही आया तो और अच्छा हुआ। अभी जो हम लोग आलोक जी को सुन रहे थे, इतने सारे विषय उन्होंने हमारे सामने रखे, इतनी बातें रखी। असल में तो हम शुरू से ही उनको चाहते थे कि इस में एक सेशन उनका हो, और कई बार कोशिश भी हुई, लेकिन आलोक जी की अपनी व्यवस्था और कुछ ऐसे काम थे जिसमें वो इतना उलझे हुए थे कि हमारे पास साथ नहीं जुड़ सके थे। लेकिन संयोग है, ये बहुत अच्छा संयोग है कि आज वो वैलेडिक्टरी में ही सही, लेकिन हम उनको सुन पाए, उनकी बातें सुन पाए, और एक फॉरवर्ड विजन ये हमारे सामने उन्होंने रखा है। तो हम सब इससे लाभ लेंगे, और आगे की रिसर्च के लिए बहुत सारा डायरेक्शन भी उनकी तरफ से आया है, एक कॉल भी है, और उनकी कॉल को मैं आगे बढ़ाते हुए आप सबको निमंत्रित करता हूं कि आप लोग जम्मू कश्मीर में आइए। कोई खतरा नहीं है, सब बहुत सुंदर है, बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छे लोग हैं, अपने लोग हैं, अपनी भूमि है, उसको मिलना देखना ये सब हम सबको करना होगा। तभी जो संदेह बीच में बना हुआ है राजनीति के कारण वो समाप्त होगा। तो सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं, आलोक जी का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, और खास तौर से दोनों कॉलेजों के हमारे प्रिंसिपल साहब एसपी अग्रवाल जी और सिन्हा जी, जिन्होंने इस पूरे आयोजन के लिए इतना अधिक सहयोग किया जिसकी हम सोच भी नहीं सकते थे, और उसकी वजह से ये इतना अच्छा हो सका है। कैप्टन आलोक बंसल जी, इनकी वजह से आज का वैलेडिक्टरी हमारा शायद पिछले 15 दिन में जो कुछ बातें थी उन सबका सार आज की उनकी बात में आ गया है। और इसी तरह जो टोली जिसका मैंने पहले भी उल्लेख किया, ये टीम ये शहीद भगत सिंह कॉलेज की टीम जिसने इतना कुछ किया रामानुजन की टीम के साथ मिलकर, और उसमें सौरभ जी जो इसके कन्वीनर थे, डॉक्टर अमृता इसकी को कन्वीनर, डॉक्टर अंकिता, डॉक्टर सुमन यादव, विपिन राठी, डॉक्टर मंजरी गुप्ता, डॉक्टर अंशु जैन, घनश्याम चंद, कल्याणी राजन जी, साहिल, और फिर रामानुजन कॉलेज से साहिल पाठक और विभाष कुमार लगातार इसमें हमारे साथ जुड़े रहे, और अपनी ओर से पूरी ताकत लगाकर उन्होंने इसको सफल बनाने में योगदान दिया है। मैं इन सभी का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं अपनी ओर से आज के इस डायस से, और सभी का धन्यवाद करते हुए, और फिर से दोहराते हुए कि जैसा अग्रवाल साहब ने कहा है, इसको ये आज की जो वैलेडिक्टरी एक पड़ाव है, इसको एक नई यात्रा की शुरुआत हम आज से कर रहे हैं, और हम सब मिलकर, आज तो हम बहुत सारे हो गए, 300 से ज़्यादा हम सब लोग और 2 कॉलेज, और बाकी फिर उनके साथ मिलकर एक यात्रा और बड़ी हो गई है ये। तो मिलकर हम लंबी यात्रा पर आगे चलेंगे, और जो भ्रम है तथ्यों और तर्कों के आधार पर हम बात करेंगे, भ्रम को समाप्त करेंगे, और इसी माध्यम से, इसी एकेडमिक माध्यम से हम इस समस्या के समाधान की ओर कोशिश करेंगे। अंकिता जी को मैं धन्यवाद के साथ देता हूँ वापस।
थैंक यू सर।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आशुतोष जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप।
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ashutosh, sir. Thank you, Dr. Agarwal, for your kind words, and a special thanks to Captain Bansal. Captain Bansal, it's been such an honor to have someone like you who is a great expertise on the subject to give the valedictory address for this program. I'm certain we all have gained a better perspective about the region and its prospects. Once again, deepest gratitude for your time and expertise, sir. Thank you. I would also like to take this opportunity to mention that this 2-week faculty development program was conceived by our convener, Mr. Saurabh Dubey. Mr. Dubey is also the convener of Academic Affairs Committee, Shahid Bhagat Singh Evening College. He has been very active in carrying out various academic initiatives at various platforms. This program has been the result of his efforts and a month of academic brainstorming in which entire team participated in full vigor and support to make it a success. Dr. Amrita Kaur, co-convener, and Mr. Shakti Singh, the organizing secretary, played a pivotal role in realization of this program. I now invite Dr. Vibhash Kumar, our coordinator with the Ramanujan College, to share his experience. Over to you, Vibhash sir.
Thank you, Ankita ma'am. Respected panelists, we have Captain Anup Bansal sir. We listen to you. Dr. Agarwal sir, आशुतोष जी, आप सबका स्वागत है। अब बहुत कुछ बोला जा चुका है, बहुत ही डिटेल में बोला जा चुका है, तो आई विल नॉट बी टेकिंग मच ऑफ योर टाइम। बस थोड़ी सी जर्नी का आपको आभास करा देते हैं, ये शुरुआत कहाँ से हुई और कैसे हम ये कर पाए। तो सौरभ दुबे जी ने प्रपोजल हमारे पास, हम टीचिंग लर्निंग सेंटर है रामानुजन कॉलेज, जिसमें हम अभी तक बताएं तो 50,000 से ज्यादा टीचर्स को ऑनलाइन मोड में ट्रेन कर चुके हैं। तो हमारा ये मानना था कि क्यों ना हम एक ऐसे टॉपिक के बारे में बताया जाए टीचर्स को जो कि बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर ऑल आवर फैकल्टी मेंबर्स टू नो अबाउट जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, और प्रॉपर ट्रेनिंग एकेडमिक माध्यम से हम उनको ये बातें बता सकें। तो इसके लिए हमने ये कंसीव किया कि ये 14 दिन का प्रोग्राम होगा, जो 4 क्वाड्रेंट्स इसमें रखे जाएंगे कि जो प्रॉपर इसकी इम्पोर्टेंस है वो बनी रहे, और इसके साथ साथ जो जम्मू एंड कश्मीर की बातें हैं, जो डिटेल्स है, हिस्टोरिक प्रोपोजिशन है, ज्योग्राफिकल प्रोपोजिशन है, कल्चरल प्रोपोजिशन है, इंटीग्रेशन है इंडिया के साथ, वो हम सारी बातें बता पाएं। तो जब ये प्रोग्राम कॉन्सेप्चुलाइज हम कर रहे थे, तो जम्मू कश्मीर स्टडी सर्कल से आशुतोष जी ने एक तरह से इसको कॉन्सेप्चुलाइज किया, हमारे साथ इस चीज को आगे लेके हम बढ़े। So, in the nutshell, what I want to say today is that at the end, we have been able to realize what we actually thought of doing in the earlier stages. We have been talking about different types of programs, but right now, what we are able to do is we are able to bring to the fore to the faculty members who are interested in this कि जम्मू एंड कश्मीर है क्या, और जम्मू एंड कश्मीर के बारे में आपको क्यों इतना पता होना चाहिए, ताकि आप अपने स्टूडेंट्स को ये बातें बता सकें। और जो चीज अभी कहीं लुप्त हो चुकी है, इट्स हिडन समवेयर, दैट हैज टू बी ब्रॉट आउट इन द फुल। सो डेफिनेटली, और इसमें आई रियली वांट टू थैंक यू विपिन राठी, मिस्टर विपिन राठी, मिस्टर साहिल पाठक, यू हैव बीन एब्सोल्युटली वेरी हेल्पफुल इन ब्रिंगिंग द पोर्टल। जो भी पोर्टल पे काम हो सका, ये आपके वजह से हो पाया। So thank you very much. Thank you very much, the team from Shahid Bhagat Singh College and Jammu and Kashmir Study Circle, and all the resource persons who have been absolutely brilliant in bringing out all the important details about Jammu and Kashmir on different and vivid aspects. So thank you so much. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vibhash sir. Every celebration is an experience. The external fades away and the internal lingers and echoes in the most depth of our hearts. As we come to close our valedictory ceremony, I invite Mr. Shakti Singh, Organizing Secretary of the Faculty Development Program, to propose the vote of thanks. Over to you, Mr. Singh.
Thank you very much, Ankita ma'am. Good morning, everyone. We have just completed a wonderful journey of knowledge where we covered the untouched aspects about Jammu and Kashmir. In this tremendous journey, many people and organizations have given their contribution, so they deserve a big thanks for this. At first, I want to thank Dr. S.K. Sinha, Principal Shahid Bhagat Singh Evening College, for all-time support, and Dr. S.P. Agarwal, Principal Ramanujan College as well. Then I would like to thank the team members from Ramanujan College, Mr. Vibhash, Mr. Vipin Rathi, Mr. Sahil Pathak for their cooperation, and Mr. Anil and Mr. Avnish especially for their technical support. Then I would like to give special thanks to Mr. Ashutosh Bhatnagarji, Director Jammu and Kashmir Study Center. He enlightens us with his knowledge throughout the whole journey, and Mr. Ajay Kumarji for giving his valuable time. Now I would like to thank the team members of this FDP from Shahid Bhagat Singh Evening College. Firstly, I would like to thank our vibrant convener and awesome leader, Mr. Saurabh Dubey ji. Mr. Saurabh Dubey is a true leader. He shows path to everyone in his team and leads by front. This pandemic period was a challenge for the teaching and learning fraternity. There were so many challenges when we were unable to meet and have almost no resources. But Mr. Saurabh Dubey didn't take it as a barrier, but he broke this barrier with his vision. He made brilliant academic plans and did various wonderful webinars on contemporary and interdisciplinary issues. He made tremendous efforts and done very fruitful collaborations with many famed organizations on his own who contribute quality information in these webinars. This FDP was purely his idea, which he refines with his team members of Academic Affairs Committee, Shahid Bhagat Singh Uni College. He picked up a brilliant team for this work with his intelligence and guide them very well. He is a true manager or a modern time leader who gives all his team members not only responsibility, but full authority over their work. He always says, I want to make my every team member a leader who himself or herself can handle everything. He is a true giver, I can say. In his leadership, the academic affairs team of the Shahid Bhagat Singh Uni College and the college itself has achieved a lot in a very short period, even with so much scarcity of resources and very little support. Thank you, Saurabh sir, for this. Then I would like to thank co-convener of this FDP, Dr. Amrita Kaur, and other core members, Dr. Suman Yadav, Ms. Ankita Shri, Ms. Anshu Jain, Mr. Ghansham Chand, Ms. Kalyani, and Ms. Manjari for their assistance. Then I would like to thank our energetic student volunteers, Barbie Jamwal and Ujjwal Kesri from Commerce Department, and Iris, Ekta Agarwal, Kundan Kumar, Sunil Yadav, and Vriddhi Suri from Department of Political Science. At last, I want to give special thanks to all our wonderful participants from all over the country who made this event a grand success. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shakti sir. The end of the story is the beginning for many others. On this note, let's conclude a remarkable, memorable, and knowledgeable valedictory session. On behalf of all the institutions involved in the program, we sincerely thank the dignitaries for being with us this morning and enlightening us with their experienced remarks. Our heartfelt gratitude to everyone present here for their wholehearted support rendered in the success of this valedictory session. We look forward to many such collaborations and academic engagements with you all in future. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Jai Hind.